We are back with a cough. All right, we're good. Ooh, I just downed a pizza and some popcorn and then had a quick sparkling water. Ooh, my tummy is weird.
You got that bubble gut rolling, don't you?
Oh, it's bubbly. We are back and better than ever. It is week 14, coming off of Thanksgiving week. How was your guys' Thanksgiving? I saw both of you. I'm assuming it was pretty good.
It was good. It was good. Thursday was a little chaotic, but you know what? That's okay.
It happens.
Some great turkey. Had some great turkey. Shout out to my stepdad. I think he finally cracked the code on the turkey for that smoked turkey on Saturday. That was wonderful.
Delicious.
But yeah, looking forward to not having turkey again for another year.
Yeah, Trev, I saw you. Nothing exciting happened really. What do we do? Watch football and eat food.
Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Yeah, we didn't play any Pinochle though.
Intended.
We need to start playing Pinochle since the Vikings suck. We might as well play during their game. We're not
talking about the Vikings. We're not talking about the Vikings. Stop it.
Well, it is on the notes tonight, but before we do that, Thanksgiving, Black Friday upsets. We're going to do a little week 13 recap and get into all the regular stuff that we go over on the Survive This Series podcast. So here we go, fellas. Jordan Love throws for 4 touchdowns as the Packers never give up never give up the lead against the Lions. Are the Packers back?
Man, this is like a weekly occurrence for me. Is they're so back and then they're so gone.
Yeah.
Like every single week, it's what are we gonna exactly get from Jordan Love? Which I just saw this stat. It just came across my desk. For his career, Jordan Love's career, week 11 and on. So for his whole career, week 11 and on, he has thrown 35 touchdowns and 2 interceptions.
That's pretty good.
Bonkers. That is bonkers. Packers had that game in the bag the whole time. Lions could never make a move. Amon-Ra went down pretty early. Starting to think the Lions are not going to make the playoffs here. And we'll get into Thursday night maybe a little bit later, but that's a pretty big game on Thursday for the Lions and the Cowboys, who we're going to talk about next. But, I think Packers pretty much cemented themselves as the number 2 in the division, with the Bears being the number 1 seed in the entire NFC currently. But,
wow.
Yeah, not a good showing from the Lions.
What are your thoughts, Trev?
Just like Matt said, I don't know what to think of the Packers yet. I did not know the stats about Jordan Love. Maybe if he could participate the entire season, that would be very impressive. But
not just save it for the last 6-7 weeks.
Right. 6, 7.
Yeah. I don't know what.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh, no.
No, I'm not doing that. Don't edit that shit out either. No, we're not doing the 6-7 crap. Sorry, Trevor.
I heard it so much today. Okay, keep going.
I didn't have more to say. It was basically that the Packers can win and lose any week, and it's who knows what to expect anymore.
Love it. Cowboys keep themselves in playoff contention, possibly knock out the Chiefs. What's going on there?
It was a very entertaining game. It was probably the best game of the entire slate.
I would agree.
Even though watching Joe Burrow ball out again is just wonderful. But again, we'll get to them in a minute. Man, the Cowboys beat the Eagles last week, beat the Chiefs this week. They got to run at the playoffs here again. They've got a real shot to make it as like a 7 or 6 seed. If Philly keeps sliding, maybe they can even win the division. Who knows? But Kansas City, they are the 10th seed right now in the AFC.
Yeah, they're on the outside looking in.
We are 2 games out of the 7th seed right now.
Yeah, this is the most excitement I've had from the AFC side in so long, because I can cheer for every single team this year if the Chiefs don't make it. Not that I have anything against the Chiefs, just they've been winning too much.
Oh, no, absolutely. But this is like the first time in, my goodness, how many years where you look at the Chiefs and you're like, you're not actually you're not actually Super Bowl contenders this year. And even 2 weeks
sneak in, they'll somehow pull it off.
Well, even a couple weeks ago, I think I even said I'd still go with the Chiefs here, but man, it's looking harder and harder and harder for them to claw back, and some of these AFC teams are pretty tough and pretty tight, and it might just come down to a numbers game at the end of this.
Yeah, it's pretty much you got to get the Chiefs out of the playoffs. Otherwise, they might win the Super Bowl if they actually make the playoffs.
Facts. That is very true.
The Chiefs not being in the playoffs for the AFC would be the most exciting playoffs I can remember in an incredibly long time, because it's been so dominated by Patriots and Chiefs for so long. And I guess speaking of that, the Pats have the best record in all of the AFC.
Hey,
so
Drake May is looking nice.
Maybe they'll run the slate, but like, we're really going to anoint another AFC contender with the Patriots, and like the Bills are not so good and the Ravens are not so good. Like, we could really have like a crazy Super Bowl this year.
And it's a great year for us, because now that we don't have a team that we can't talk about, we can cheer for these other ones that haven't had any of this glory in years either.
Maybe my beloved Bengals, who ended up beating the Ravens. I would say, since they made their Super Bowl run, the Bengals are my boys. Joe Burrow is my boy. I should say that. Baltimore is just ass. I should say that also from the top. They stink. They are bad. Their defense, even though they've got a lot of starters back, are just so horrible. It really stinks that the Bengals are kind of out of this whole thing, because they would be so fun as a 7 seed to go and play like the Colts or like somebody like that, because I think they might be able to win, man. I think they might. They're going to give up 30 points, but they're going to score 33 points.
It's the same with every team this year, though. As anyone has a shot, it's just weird.
Yeah, the way this year has been going, it has been like that. Like Matt just said, Burrow is back. Baltimore's not good. Let's talk about the Bears, since we can't talk about one of the teams in that conference. The Bears are in first place in the NFC after knocking off the defending champs. Are you guys believing in the Bears? What's going on there?
And Trevor, I wonder how you handle this as a fellow NFC Norther, watching the Bears prosper. It's disgusting. It's not something I'm all that used to.
Yeah, it's really confusing. It's better than the Packers, I guess.
I would definitely subscribe to that, but like that's an amazing win for a Bears team that I found completely inept when the season started. Like, that week 1 loss to the Vikings, I thought was just going to almost define their season. Of they do a little bit here, they do a little bit there, and then they just completely blow it, because that has always been, for our lifetimes, the Bears' MO.
Well, that's the difference, though. It's literally just them in the fourth quarter not screwing it up for once.
And it's shocking. It is absolutely shocking to see them play a complete game, beat Philly, who I know all of us we've talked about it in the entire season, of there's something systematically wrong with the Philadelphia Eagles this year, where they are just not doing any of the things of winning the Super Bowl last year, or even when they made their Super Bowl run the first time around a couple years ago. They have just completely abandoned everything that they are good at. And I know it was a good A.J. Brown game, but they just couldn't do anything against the Bears. It was shocking.
I mean, with that said, though, I am not going to pick the Bears at all to win this year for the survivor pool.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
Our boy Trevor is still alive in that pool, and we're going to get to that in a little bit. We have to touch on it real quick. It's been 294 games since the Vikings have been shut out in back-to-back games. Brosmer, he's not the answer. Who's the answer? What's going on with the Vikings, guys? You don't need to get too into it. Just give me something.
There was...
About to hang up on you.
Oh, Trevor's going to leave the call.
There were so many times where I was just looking down and rubbing my temples and just considering all of the energy and thoughts that I have ever put into the Vikings, and how there are a lot of people that don't live like this and probably live healthy, normal lives. And then there's just me watching Max Brosmer throw an underhand pick six
Oh my gosh, that was bad.
Defenders in probably the worst pass of the entire year, and maybe even going back a couple of years. I don't know. Jameis Winston has had some doozies, so maybe he's in there. But I mentioned this to some other Vikings fans and I'm curious, Trevor, what you think about this. Is this one of the most disappointing seasons for the Vikings ever?
Yes. Or at least in our
lifetime. Because
can't think of a single time. We've always been mediocre, at least. This is just like we have a great team and a complete disaster.
like it isn't like last year, and it isn't like when Brett Favre when we lost in the NFC Championship with Brett Favre, or we lost in the NFC Championship with Case Keenum.
Yeah, and some of those years are worse quarterbacks. Like we had a great defense and a good run game, and we used the run game, so we lost. But like they were close games where we weren't throwing 4 interceptions. We're just maybe getting stuffed on the run too many times.
Or even like if you think about it, and I know Darnold didn't have that good of a game. Just gonna throw that out there. He didn't do that well. Look, they were up like 20-0 in like the third quarter, so he didn't have to do much. But anyways, like Darnold gets us 15 wins last year. I really thought, even if JJ is Trent Dilfer out there, like just putzing the ball along, we're gonna get 10 wins out of him. And it is so far from that. And Brosmer's not the answer, and Carson Wentz literally destroyed half of his body to play football for us. But maybe this is a little bit of reach, so you guys can call me on it. But last night I was watching the Pats and the Giants, and obviously I haven't watched a lot of Giants. Sorry, Kenny. They are a disaster of an organization from top to bottom. But Jackson Dart, I think, might be the best rookie quarterback out of this class. J.J. McCarthy is not making a single one of those Jackson Dart throws. There was a play last night where Jackson Dart is literally getting hit at the knees. He's being picked up, and he throws the ball past defenders for a first down. J.J. McCarthy doesn't have that confidence. He doesn't have that throw. There's nobody on this team. It doesn't matter that we have Kevin O'Connell, even though I thought, again, we have Kevin O'Connell. What does it matter? The Vikings are a complete disaster. I'm thinking that they need to do something drastic, not fire KOC, but maybe fire Kwesi, our general manager. They got to figure something out because the draft picks aren't hitting. We're spending an ass load in free agency every single year. Just this past offseason, we spent the second most. They have this whole plan predicated on a rookie quarterback being able to bring us to the Super Bowl like Brock Purdy and the 49ers. And we're so far away from that. We're going to finish last in the division. We're going to have a top 10 draft pick this year. We are ass, and I don't want to talk about the Vikings ever again. Thank you.
Matt, you go cool off a little bit. I'm going to read off some stats from last week's pool. Jaguars and Chargers are at the top of the list with 14 people picking the Jags and 10 people picking the Chargers. Seahawks had 4, Dolphins had 4, Bucs had 2. Chiefs lost, eliminated 1 person. Eagles lost and eliminated 1 person. 49ers and Broncos both won. Those were the top. We had 2 entries eliminated. 36 entries are still surviving. And Trevor, you are one of those, correct?
I am.
Love it. You picked the Jags last week, right?
After our last talk, I realized I did have the Chargers left. I had pushed it earlier in the season, so I actually chose the Chargers.
Oh, so you got out of the Jags pick and you went with the Chargers.
And the whole reason was because I'm picking the Jaguars later.
Oh, okay. I like that. So that is what's going on in the Survivor pool. 36. Hey, when people lose, they're getting eliminated. So it's gonna start getting interesting here. Let's get into some quick hitters before we get into who we're picking, who we're staying away from, and who we're on the fence with. Panthers upset the Rams to keep themselves in playoff contention. What's going on with that game?
Man, the first sloppy game of the season for Matt Stafford. I still think he's probably the odds-on MVP favorite, but he threw back-to-back interceptions on drives and just really buried them. And actually, he had 3 interceptions the entire game. He had a crucial one late. This West Coast to East Coast thing, we saw this earlier in the year with the Chargers and Commanders, actually. And just going to flag it. Just going to say maybe this is not a great idea to stake your claim on. That's all. Panthers, if Dallas loses this week and they ended up winning, there's a good chance that they can make the playoffs.
Love it. Denver beats Washington in an overtime thriller. It is the best game of the season by far for the Commanders. I would agree with that. And a representation of the Broncos being frauds. Let's talk about the Broncos, and I'm going to touch on what I saw and what we can take away from this game. Go ahead.
You know, the Broncos experience, the Sean Payton experience is so great. Like, I'm just a fat kid eating a bunch of chocolate watching this unfold.
Love it.
It is absolutely wonderful watching them crumble and Bo Nix get into arguments with Sean Payton and all of the stink come out, all of the stink and stench. Like, they have a legendary defense. They might have one of the best modern defenses in NFL history, but their offense stinks, and I will happily gamble against them in the opening round of the playoffs. But this game is more indicative of your beautiful Commanders. So Taylor, you gotta scream from the mountaintops, Marcus Mariota jersey incoming.
Hey, I hope. Give me that 8 jersey. I love it. Marcus almost had it. That 2-point conversion just got tipped. They had to pretty much walk in 2-point conversion to win that game. I liked how they went for it. I don't explain the overtime rules again for football, for professional football. They have to go for 2-point conversion pretty much, right? Or could they have kicked the field goal and then it just would have gone into another possession and stuff?
Would have went into another possession. So they changed it where if the team that receives scores a touchdown, the other team still gets an opportunity. So before it was whoever scores first, that's it, it's over. Then it was changed to if the other team kicks a field goal, the other team still gets a shot. Now it's field goal or touchdown. Doesn't matter. Other team gets a shot at it.
But I like it. They're going for the win. That shows some nuts. Well, they might as well. They only have 3 on the year. But, hey, offensive line was huge against the top-rated pass rush defense. We held the Broncos to 17% pressure rate, which is great. The lowest since week 3 of 2023. So, hey, offensive line, way to show up. Laramie Tunsil allowed 2 pressures.
For once, the offensive line for the Commanders was looking good.
Josh Connerly Jr., the rookie, 0 pressures on one of their top outsides. So that was huge. So it was good. And then it helps. I told Matt this when we were at League tonight. We had McLaren back. McLaren F1, I call him, because he's fast as hell. When you put a guy like that in the offense, it just opens everything up. So the running backs were being able to run. Rodriguez played well. Bill had, I think, 1 touchdown. McLaren had 7 catches, 97 yards, and 1 touchdown. So a guy like that definitely helps. Hey, Commanders, I'm all about it. Good job. Need to keep that momentum going for next year because we're not doing anything. And the Texans, they keep on winning. The Colts keep on losing. What's going on with Danny Dimes?
So this was a little Thanksgiving surprise, and I think I touched on it on when we did the long form, but it seemed like there was something wrong with Danny Dimes, Daniel Jones. And it turns out he has a broken fibula.
Yeah, I saw that.
And he is still playing on it. And it's really unfortunate because obviously he's going to ruin that leg of his. Anthony Richardson is still on the IR, so I think they have Sam Ellinger as their backup. The Colts have had such a promising year, and now it's going to end with injuries, and it's so disappointing. But that Texans defense, man, talk about top 2, Denver and Texans. Man, that is not a team you want to face in the first round of the playoffs. That is for sure.
I would agree. Trevor, you got anything else before we get into this week's matchup and who we are going with, staying away from, and on the fence with?
Nope, I was just rooting for the Colts, and it seems like that's going down the drain.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Week 14 matchups. Tonight, we have the Cowboys and Lions. It's going to be a good one, like Matt said. A big, important one for the Lions. Titans, Browns. Seahawks, Falcons. Colts, Jags. Commanders at Minnesota. That's going to be a fun one. I'll be watching that at noon on Sunday. Bengals, Bills, Saints, Buccaneers, Steelers, Ravens, Dolphins, Jets, Broncos, Raiders, Rams, Cardinals, Bears, Packers. That's also going to be a good one for that divisional spot up on top there. Texans, Chiefs, Eagles, Chargers on Monday night. Let's get into it. Trevor, who are you staying away from?
I am staying away from the Bills. I don't feel like they've been doing well lately, and I don't know why the Bengals are trying to prove anything, but apparently they decided they want to start winning. The Bills should win it, but I'm staying away.
Okay. Matt?
Dolphins and Jets, everybody just relax. Both these teams won last week. Don't mess around. Don't get cute. Like Taylor was saying before, all these teams that are left, I'm guessing, only have one pick left. They have exhausted all of their extra lives. If you're gambling on Dolphins and Jets, you're a sicko, and you should have lost like I did in Week 5.
Stay away from the Bills and Bengals. I agree with you, Trev. Joey B is back. That offense is looking fun. They have nothing to lose. You might as well go ruin other people's playoff hopes. You know what I mean? Trevor, who are you on the fence with?
I think I actually agree with Matt here on the Browns and Titans game there. I don't know how the Browns are going to lose to the Titans, so it's very tempting to pick them. But I probably am leaning away from it just to take a safer option.
Got it. Matt?
Shedeur Sanders is how they lose, my friend. One of the great things that I saw was a clip of Shedeur last week. 4th and 26, scrambled for 5 yards, slid to turn the ball over, which
he did.
Chef's kiss, baby. Mwah. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love it. That's the only reason why I would be on the fence with this. But that Browns defense is so good, and I just think that they're gonna mess up Cam Ward. And also, I picked the Titans as my on the fence team last week, and they suck just giant butt.
Yeah, they did.
Just Nicki Minaj level tush. They suck. So we have to go against them. But again, that's my on the fence.
Yeah, I would go on the fence with that as well. I know Danielle, my wife, is definitely picking against the Titans the rest of the way, so she will be taking that Browns game over the Titans. But you never know. With Shedeur, like you said, and but that defense is good. You're right, and the Titans are dog poop. So who knows? We'll see. Who are you going with, Trev?
Buccaneers. It's of my remaining choices. Even without my remaining choices, I think that's just the most clear game to. The Buccaneers are better than the Saints.
Amen.
You're going with the Bucs and Saints too, Matt?
I am. The one red flag that I have with the Bucs is that they won 21-17 over the Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett threw for 308 yards. That's not great against a Cardinals team that's banged up all the hell. Here's the other reason why I think the Bucs should win this is Alvin Kamara is still injured. They have no running game. They're putting a bunch of stock into this rookie quarterback to be able to get them over the hump. Personally, I think Baker is going to beat the Saints team up. They really wrecked him earlier in the year in New Orleans. Now they're at home. Bucky Irving's back. I think this is an easy game for the Bucs.
Love it. I was always going to do this. If I made it this far, I am taking the Commanders over the Vikings this week, fellas.
Such a loser.
I am taking the Commanders over the Vikings. The Vikings are in shambles. They can't play football. All we need to do is score a couple touchdowns. Marcus Mariota looked good last week. Good old McLaurin is back. Bill is running great. Our offensive line is actually protecting them. Hey, Washington has nothing to lose. Let's get that to 4-9 on the season and put you guys at 4-9. And guess what? We got Hams writing on this because you remember at one of our long form podcasts that we were talking about over-unders on wins. And yeah. So
scumbag. You're a scumbag.
Yep.
Here.
Am I in this bet? I don't recall this one.
I don't know. I'm going to have to go back and look, but I am excited for this Sunday, December 7th matchup at noon. We are in Minnesota. I think you said over 6 wins. And I think I went over 6 as well. It was really, really close. I'm going to have to look, but if our teams don't make it to 6, then it's just a freaking wash. We both suck. What are we going to do?
The most boring wash.
Get everyone some hams? We could.
Yeah, then you both owe me a ham.
Yeah. Then we owe Trevor the hams who just sat in the corner and, oh yeah, that works. But yeah, you guys forgot about that, didn't you?
I did. I completely forgot.
Yes,
Whoops.
sir. So Washington over the Vikings. I think it's going to be a fun game. Mariota's looking good. Go maroon and gold, baby. Thank you so much for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Tell all your friends. Tell your wives. Tell your dogs. Tell your grandmas, grandpas. Tell whoever you want to tell. Hams, we're still waiting for that sponsorship. If anyone knows who works for Hams or wants to send some product our way, that would be amazing. We really would appreciate it. We talked about the Vikings a little bit more than we thought tonight. Thank you, fellas, for opening up your minds to the purple and gold. Hopefully, they play well this week, and it is actually an entertaining game because I would actually enjoy that as well. If you're still in the league, I hope you are winning. Trevor, I hope you go all the way and keep your picks rolling as well. Until next time, we will see you guys later. Peace.